Okay, make sure all is set up and good. Why is this window bigger than usual? What did they do? They made it bigger. Set up and good. Why is this window bigger than usual? What did they do? They made it bigger. Set up and good. Why is this window... Okay, audio works. Good. Great. Pog. Amazing. Yeah, there's something they made... I cannot shrink it down to size. What have they done? Oh. No, they didn't make it bigger. I just became fucking dumb, and I couldn't do it. I just made my own damned mistake. But you know, things happen. Things happen. Okay. Anyways. More funny Higurashi. I cannot wait for Oni to get in here and to question just like, Ash, what did you do? Because I'm just like, haha, what do you mean, what did I do, Oni? I look exactly the same, totally, right? And then he's just gonna be like, fam, nah. But then again, it's 10 where I'm at, and I don't remember, I don't know. He's probably sleeping, or at the very least, he's reading manga, but I don't know. He could do what he do, though. Oh, right, so if I'm remembering correctly, we did the whole celebration thing with everybody doing good at the baseball game. Shion showed up too, which totally didn't trigger any worries or fears that I would have originally had. Because fucking, of course I had these kind of fears. Anyways, let's go. Oh boy, this music just makes me happy because I know good things will happen. I hope. That's what I'm hoping, at least. Alright, club activities had begun, which meant I needed to clear my mind. So, what was today's battle? Today's punishment game. I'll take anything on.
ほらほら、ケイチさん。覚悟なさいませよ。今日は徹底的に行きますわよ。
When you say it like that, you make it seem like this will be the last club activity we do in this chapter. And if that's the case, I won't be disappointed, just a little sad is all.
おう、上等だぜ。さとこだろうと誰だろうと手加減無用でぶっ潰してやるぜ。
そこをレナは漁夫の利で優勝だよ。僕はそれに小判ザメで優勝を狙いますです。
I'm sorry, what? Rika?
はあ、リカちゃんが小判ザメみたいにペター。
Damn, Reina! We're going this far in, aren't we?
本持ち帰り。
No taking kids home, Reina. How many times do we gotta tell you?
よしみんな、今日は大人数だから簡単で分かりやすいゲームにしよう。今日のゲームはね、
Tag or hide and seek, right? You fucking... We just started and already... Here's the title sequence of Higurashi. It's gonna cut back in and it's gonna be something... Wait, what? Wait, did we just skip out on the whole club activity? Wait, everyone who lost the game dropped out and had to help clean up after the barbecue. Wait, what was the game? Who lost? And more importantly, why didn't we get to see it? Leon laughed more uproariously than anyone I had ever heard when she saw my loser face. Okay, I kind of figured that Keiichi would have lost. I mean, knowing our luck, of course. Who else lost, though? Okay. Was getting bombed out of the game... I mean, was my getting bombed out of the game really that funny?
いやいや、あの時のケイちゃんの顔。お前らそれでも人間かよ。みたいな。
Laugh it off, bitch. You're the same one who stabbed me.
ちくしょう。初期の買い占めまでは作戦通りだったのに。あそこでサトコとリカちゃんの裏切りさえなければ。
It was going great while we had maintained a united unit, or united front. but Satsuko had been quicker to betray me than I her. She was just a tiny bit better than me. A tiny bit? I think that's an understatement, Kay. Ugh.
だから北条を信じちゃいけないって警告したんですよ。
Tomota-kun and Okamura-kun were on whatever that fucking word is. Anyways, they're wearing I told you faces. Incidentally, those two were the victims of Satsuko's traps pretty early on as well.
さあ、富田君たちの分まで頑張るつもりだったのにな。
Once again, for the showdown, it didn't even matter. Maybe this meant I still couldn't match up to the other members yet.
で、部活メンバーの最下位には何か罰ゲームがあるってことになってるんじゃなかったでしたっけ？
Shion remarked, as though forcing me to recall something I tried to forget, even for a moment. Wait, so we're not out of this shit yet? There's more. Oh no. Like, I don't want to fucking remember it, but I guess I gotta.
そうだったかな。
そういえば前原さん、委員長と罰ゲームを決めるときかなり熱くなってましたけど、一体何を罰ゲームにしたんですか？
Okamura, my boy, the better question would be, what do we not think of? Let me guess, we're gonna go home in a maid outfit? A bunny girl outfit? We'll have to carry someone's luggage? We'll have to tell Chie that curry sucks? What's next? What's next, honestly? Oh god, do we have to have something written on our backs as we walk home? Like...
さっきお姉にエンジェルモートの制服を調達してくれって頼まれたんですけど。
Oh, no they didn't! No they didn't! You're kidding me, right? They did not actually go through with this.
それと何か関係あります？できる限り大きめのサイズでって言われたんですけど。
You're shitting me. Tomota-kun and Okamura-kun were giving me those complex, indescribable looks, mixing empathy, pity, and desire to see something scary, all at the same time. All I could do now was just laugh. Strangely enough, the more I laughed, the more I felt like it was actually funny. Ugh! I lost. What even was the game?
あれあれ前原さんどうしちゃったんですか？
What would you like to know?
笑ったり泣いたり吠えたり。
いいんです。あれは嫌がってるふりのジェスチャーなんです。
He's just pretending.
罰ゲームを口実に得られる貴重な経験に興奮を隠せないだけなんです。ねえ。
何が貴重な経験とは。
I held my hand in I held my head in my hands in agony. My state of mind could be summed up with a 3-letter word. It was sob. Coach gently put his hands on my shoulders. Was he trying to comfort me?
前原さん、苦境を受け入れなければならない時はですね。
That hit like a... that hit like a fucking semi-truck in times where you must accept your case.
厳しい指導を受けているメイドであると想像するんです。ほーら、絶望的なシチュエーションがなんだか楽しそうになってきませんか？いいじゃないですか。
Red in the face and indulging in his imagination, still holding by his shoulders, Coach said, Oh, master, and started twirling around like a ballerina. I really had to wonder what kind of word associations he had going in his head. At the very least, it was much different than what was in mine. The first thing that comes to mind when I think of disciplining certainly doesn't involve maze.
富田君、岡村君、君たちの監督は実に面白いな。こんなのでよく監督が務まるな。
Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun exchanged glances and answered with dry smiles. Then they added that he was a really nice person most of the time, which is something you'd normally say about a person like that. The coach's questionable revelation slowed to a stop, and then his expression returned to a clear, calm one, almost making what just happened seem like an illusion, really. He could really just switch gears that fast? No, maybe even too fast.
ではお片付けを続けましょう。前原さんは力持ちみたいですからね。プレートを水場に持って行って洗っていただけますか？
へい、了解です。
I hosted the dirty barbecue plates, which with slimy oil clinging to it, it looked like, it looked for the, I can't, what the fuck? Clinging to it and looked for the wash bins. Ugh, these are freaking heavy. Where are the wash basins, whatever. Over there? Figuring I should make it there before my arms gave out, I headed towards it at a trot. A lot of the adults who had been helping out were using wash basins, so I gave up and looked for a different set. I asked them, and they told me where there were more right by the assembly hall too, so I decided to head that way. Rather than multiple basins, there was just one faucet there. I initially thought it would be too small to wash plates these big in here, but it would probably still be faster than waiting for a faucet to open up back there. I turned the faucet, and the water, much nicer looking than it gushed forth. I put a plate under the faucet and scrubbed it with my hand to try to rub it clean. It didn't really go very well.
はい。スポンジとクレンザー。そんなの水だけで洗ったって無理です。
Oh, it was Shion. She threw a brand new sponge in a container filled with cleaner for me.
お、サンキュー。
そんなの洗い場に置いて大人たちに任せちゃえばいいのに。つくづくケイちゃんっていい人です。
I got a feeling that it wasn't quite much of a compliment. I answered her with a forced
シオンがひなみ沢ファイターズのマネージャーだったなんて驚いたぜ。そういうのはめんどくさがってやらないやつだと思ってた。
ええ、めんどくさいですよ。ですから今は完全に幽霊ですけどね。
監督、帰ってきてほしいって言ってたじゃないか。たまには帰ってきてやれよ。
まあ気が向いたら。
Yeah, you should totally do it. Why the hell not, right? Like, come on. Shion made it sound like the end of the world could happen before she felt like it. Whoops. I shouldn't keep washing the dishes while preoccupied with the conversation, so I decided to take my task a little more seriously. Shion neither offered to help nor got in my way. She just quietly watched the water flowing from the faucet.
そうそう、聞きましたよ。昨日の試合、ケイちゃんが大活躍したそうじゃないですか。
褒めるなら俺よりもホームランを決めたサトコの方だろう。あいつ運動神経良かったんだな。俺驚いたよ。
サトシ君とは大違いです。きっと運動神経は妹に全部取られちゃったに違いないですね。
Shion smiled as she spoke, her eyes looking at something far away, betraying her reminiscence.
サトシ君？
北条サト子の兄です。北条サトシ君。あ、そっか。ケイちゃんって今年引っ越してきたんでしたっけ？なら会ったことありませんね。
I was a little surprised that Shion even knew about Satoshi.
会ったことはないけど少しは知ってるよ。確か両親が亡くなった後 転校したんだよな。
That's what they all say. That's what they've all said, but we know what the truth is. I avoided saying that he ran away from home and used a slightly more vague term, just like everyone else did.
転校？誰がそんなこと言ったんですか？
I hadn't yet realized that Shion's tone had changed rather so slightly.
いや、誰って。
Why? Okay, now don't get me wrong, I'm not intimidated or anything by this. I just want to know why.
誰だっけかな。うん、誰かに聞いたんだよ。転校したって。
その誰かって誰ですか？誰かに聞いたから言ってるんですよね、転校って。
誰に聞いたかなんてよく覚えてないよ。転校だって言うならそれでいいだろ。別に問題があるわけじゃないし。
ありますよ。転校届が出されたわけですか？学校とかに。それを誰かが見た？それとも聞いた？
Around the time, I not only noticed how awfully caught up on this Shion was, but also how strangely dangerous her eyes began to
シオン、なんだよお前。目がマジだぞ。
look. With that, Shion seemed to realize the expression she was making. She decided to take a deep breath and pretended to fix her hair and went back to her composed expression from before.
すみません。でもケイちゃん、よく知りもしないでサトシくんのこと転校とか言わないでください。本当にお願いしますね。
I realized that I must have said something that I shouldn't have, but I wasn't immediately sure what I should apologize for, so I just said one safe word for now, and just said sorry.
なんとなく転校と聞かされて、そうだと信じてたんだよ。じゃあ実際は違うのか？
It was, of course. Preceded by his parents, he had left his sister and ran away. But I wanted to try avoid using the words run away, so I pretended not to know. Upon seeing my flustered reply, Shion realized that she was intimidating me and lowered her voice.
すみません。別にケイちゃんを責めてるわけじゃないんです。
I don't know, girl. You're slowly starting to make me think you did something. But then again, you kind of did some stuff in the last chapter, so part of me wants to believe that you didn't do anything extra. I digress. You're still scaring the fuck out of me.
ちょっと言葉がきつすぎましたね。謝ります。
別に気にしてないよ。
That was a fib. I was actually a little scared even. Was there something wrong with saying he ran away? Was there some sort of misunderstanding in saying that he transferred? But before I could ask her, she turned to her heel to leave.
おい、シオン。
じゃあ頑張ってください。ケイちゃんのプレートで最後みたいですよ。洗い物。
Her final remark reminded me that the dishes I had so easily forgotten about. So immersed in the conversation were we that it got pretty late. Turned the faucet on again and got the water flowing faster. I violently scrubbed at the plate. When I turned back around, Shion was no longer there. By the time I finished washing the plates, most of the other things had been cleaned up. The air had cooled off before I realized it, and as the heat had struck with us all day and dispersed, a nice breeze started to blow now. How long is that gonna fucking last, am I right? How long is that gonna last? I was honestly scared if the tips were gonna show up.
では皆さん集合です。
I was scared that the tips were gonna show up and that was gonna be the conclusion of the chapter, and I was just gonna be like, damn, are we really going to be getting in like further and further into this? Because Jesus Christ, it just does some things. Coach got everyone together to make his closing remarks, and with that, another fun day drew to a close. the end, Mion ended the game with a magnificent victory. Naturally. Satoko and Rika-chan, who had labored so hard to betray me, had fallen into a huge trap afterwards, leaving them frustrated about more than a few things.
人を裏切る奴はいつか自分も裏切られる。いい見本だな。
そんなこと圭一さんに言われたくありませんわ。
Hey, if I finish last for like the club members, I might as well have fun with this.
レナは誰の口車にも乗らなかったからね。2位になれたんだよ。レナはなかなか嘘に引っかからないのです。
That is true, and that's also terrifying.
勘がいいのですよ。
I'm surprised. She seems like the person who would fall for the very first lie that got thrown her way.
それを言ったらケイちゃんでしょ。他人を食い物にしてやろうと欲張って真っ先に自分が食い物に。友達を紹介すれば紹介するほど高収入なんてバカな商法に引っかかるんじゃないよ。
へいへい、努力しますよ。とほほほ。
Even good friends will lay traps mercilessly and betray everyone on sight once they get into a serious enough game. But despite all that, once it's over, they can feel refreshed and laugh together. It reminded me of how we were all such great friends, and how the shit always seems to just turn on its ass whenever the fuck it feels like it. Like, one minute we'll be like the greatest of friends, and then the next someone's gonna die. And just thinking about that's rather terrifying.
それよりも圭一さんの罰ゲームが楽しみでございますわね。
I'm not, well actually I am, but you know, I'm also not because I'm Keiichi in this scenario.
でも本当に実現できますの？店長さんもそんなの嫌だって言うと思いましたよ。どうだろう。圭一くんすっごく可愛くなるかも。
Reina, I swear to God.
なるかも。
Get the nata.
見てみたいかも。
I'm grabbing the nata.
僕もとても楽しみなのですよ。
I know you are.
転ばせてふきふきをさせますです。
You are a jerk.
ああ、それはいいね。
What is wrong with all of you?
なぜここ一番で俺は勝てないんだ。今日は絶対に勝ちたい。この罰ゲームは誰かにやらせてみたいと思うといつも負ける。
To be fair, Keiichi, that one punishment game thing we had with the bento, we could have won if we didn't say anything, but no, we chose to say a lot. Actually, I don't think we would have won, but we at the very least wouldn't have been last, which was the main goal, kind of, but my point still stands.
足りないのか。勝利への信念が足りないのか。うわー。
Okay, Kay, you're thinking too much on this.
敗者の嘆きは蜜の味ですわね。かわいそうなのです。
And she's making fun of me.
圭一くんもこうやって強くなっていくんだね。去年のみーちゃんを見てるみたい。
Mi-chan last year? Wait, what? Did she always lose and then moan about stuff like this in the past? How very interesting. I didn't know our undefeated president Mion was once like that.
余計なことは言わなくていいの。
Mion hastily went to cover Reina's mouth. Everyone watching just burst out in laughter. Finally, Rika-chan pulled Satoko's sleeve.
さて、僕たちはそろそろ行かないといけないのです。あ、お夕飯のお買い物に行かないといけませんわね。
I wanted to keep talking like this forever, but it was getting late. We split up with Satoko and Rika-chan and decided to get on our way home.
じゃあまた明日。学校で会おうね。
Everyone waved at each other and split up for the short time between now and tomorrow.
じゃあ行こう。
We began walking down the tall staircase leading from the shrine grounds. As the sun started to set, the afternoon's heat began to disappear, as though if it was never there. Just listening to the chorus of the Higurashi was enough to make me forget about how hot it had been today.
そういえばまだ6月なんだよね。今年は梅雨とか全然ないで、いきなり夏みたいな感じだね。
Now that I thought about it, she was right. It was June, the summer, the season of long rain. Of high. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? That's a random ass fucking cryptic term that they use in science class to make you wonder why the hell did I get here in the first place. I haven't seen a real rainy season since transferring here.
週間予報によると週明けあたりからはもうちょっと梅雨らしい天気になるらしいよ。大雨注意とか言ってたから、綿流しにぶつからなきゃいいんだけど。
そうなんだ。やっぱり梅雨は梅雨らしい方がいいよね。レナは梅雨の長雨って結構好きだよ。
長雨なんて気がめいるだけだって。ねえケイちゃん。
I was just a little spaced out, so I was a little late to answering Mion. I was thinking back on my conversation with her sister. When I said that Satoshi had transferred, Shion clearly got angry. She was mad at me for saying something so careless. I mean, it may have been a vague way of skirting around the fact that he ran away from home, but I didn't think it would be that bad to where Shion would need to feel so angry about it. I wasn't really satisfied with it. I felt like a child completely ignorant in what he was being scolded for. So my thoughts spilled out of my mouth in a very discreet fashion.
サトコに兄貴っていたよな。サトシって名前だっけ？
As soon as I said the name Satoshi, Reina and Mion both lost their relaxed, comfortable mood and made strange expressions. If they lose the light in their eyes, I'm running the fuck away. Should I have avoided talking about this? That's what they made me think. But I've already said it, so that's that. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested.
サトシってどうしたんだっけ？引っ越したんだっけ？
It was such a transparent way of putting it, but in my desire to know everything, I feigned ignorance. Mion turned around and looked to Reina for assistance. Reina looked between us, then quietly and softly spoke.
あれ？言わなかったかな？転校しちゃったんだよ。
You mean demoned away, right? Demoned away. When I said those words to Shion, she got upset. So I answered her with the same words that Shion had given me.
転校って誰がそんなことを言ったんだよ。
I had only intended to borrow Shion's words, but I said exactly the same way she did, right down to the thorns in my voice. When I realized what I did, I immediately tried to soften my
本
remark.
当に転校したなら転校届とかが学校に提出されるはずだろ。でもそんなの実際には出てないんじゃないのか？
Mion and Reina, their eyes grew wide, for they were at a loss of words. I started to feel like I was doing something really bad, though I thought they were hiding the fact that Satoko's older brother ran away out of consideration for her.
別に二人を責めてるわけじゃないんだぜ。ただサトシはどうしたのかなって聞いてみてるだけのつもりで。
I wasn't trying to blame them. The fact that I had reminded them even looked like I was tormenting them with an impossible question of the sort. No, maybe I was actually bullying them. Maybe I had lashed out at them at the retaliation for Shion getting mad at me. This whole day had just been so much fun, but now, why did I have to go and say something that made it all meaningless? I couldn't help but regret my own curiosity. That's enough, let's drop it now. I was about to say that, but then Mion spoke up.
別に隠そうとか騙そうとかそういうつもりじゃないのを分かってほしいんだけど。
Mion's tone conveyed her genuine awkwardness. They sounded like excuses of a child who had presented with evidence of her own mischief.
サトシは転校したわけじゃないんだよ。
Well, I kind of already knew that, but Mion said resigning herself. But I felt bad for pushing her to say that. So, it's okay, Mion. Let's just stop talking about Satoshi. Sorry for teasing you about it. I wanted to apologize, but right before that...
帰ってこないの。
Reina, why did you say that so calmly, yet so brave? Meanwhile, Mion's over here showing genuine, like, awkwardness about it because it's pretty obvious she knows too. But unlike Mion's stammered reply, Reina was extremely clear and direct on this.
帰ってこないって。
ある日から家に帰ってこないの。
Reina, can you at least change your facial expression if you're gonna say shit like this? He won't come back? Well, that's a fucking strange way of putting it. Normally you would say that he hadn't come back yet. At least, I thought you'd say it like Reina did if he wasn't capable of coming back. You wouldn't say it like that when talking about someone who ran away from home.
帰ってこないってどういう意味だよ。じゃあサトシはどこへ行ったんだよ。
知らない。
Reina's word choice felt very cold to me. Is Reina gonna be the psycho in this? Is she the one who's gonna try to kill us? At first she seemed, like in chapter 2, she seemed rather concerned about Keiichi's safety, and yeah, she said some pretty vague shit in chapter 2, but she meant it in a more compassionate way, but here? I don't know. I'm starting to have suspicions that she's gonna be the one targeting us. It was so cold that I couldn't muster a response right away.
だからさ、レナの言う通りなんだよ。ある日を境にサトシは家に帰ってこなかった。
Well, yeah, but that wouldn't necessarily confirm that he wouldn't come back, right? You would need some sort of like evidence or some sort of like something to make you go like, oh yeah, here's the reason he won't come back, that sort of thing. Mion noticed the deadlock between us and hurriedly followed up with what Reina had said.
まあ村中みんなで探したし、警察も方々を探してくれたよ。それで家出じゃないかって話になってさ。
Okay.
家出じゃないかって話になって。
When running away from home, I thought you were supposed to leave a note or something. So when Satoshi just ran away, he probably would have left some kind of letter apologizing to Satoko. Or at least that's kind of what I figured. But from the way that Mion was speaking here, it seemed a little different than just running away from home.
警察の人が調べたらさ、サトシってバイトとかでコツコツとお金を貯めててさ、それをいなくなった日に全部下ろしてたのが分かったんだよ。で、名古屋駅だかでサトシによく似た人が目撃されたとかで。
He withdrew all of his savings to fund his escape from home. Was that really it? I mean, it seemed consistent enough for me. But before I could say anything...
私はそんなの嘘だと思う。サトシ君は家出なんかじゃない。
declared Reina shortly.
ちょっと待てよ。転校したわけでもなく、引っ越したわけでもなく、それで家出したわけでもないなら、一体サトシはどうして？
やめなよ、レナ。
Mion whispered to her. Reina, however, continued without interruption, and she said this. Let me guess, demoned away or killed, right?
だってこれはお社様のたたりだもの。
たたり？
Here we go again. It took some time before I understood what Reina meant by that. Hold on, weren't you one of the first who was fucking fucked with this curse in the first place? I don't feel comfortable with... Wait, she's the one telling the curse now. Before it was Oishi-san. Then it was Shion, Tomitake, and Takano. And now Reina is the one telling me this. And instead of Mion seeming furious about me knowing, she seems a little more worried. I don't know if that's going to change later on, but that's how I'm seeing this. That's how I'm analyzing this. And I'm like, Uh-oh. Never mind. Mion clicked her tongue and shook her head a little.
サトシ君は消える前に私に教えてくれた。
Long time no see! Okay, I won't lie. I don't have an insult. Please stay away.
誰かに見張られている。
Someone was watching him?
後をつけられている。家の中にまでついてくる。寝るとき、枕元に立って見下ろしてるって教えてくれた。
やめなよレナ。
Yeah, okay. Look, Mion clearly does not like any of this shit. Reina, you need to chill your jets.
それは間違いなく、お社様のたたりの前兆。
Okay, I'm going to take assumption that Reina's been through the curse as well, and that's why she is so hell-bent on mentioning this. I mean, hell, the light in her eyes are gone. What chapter are we on again? We're on we're on the 4th or 5th chapter. We already have this? Oh my god.
きっとサトシ君は心のどこかでひなみ沢を捨てて逃げ出そうという気持ちがあったんだと思う。
But isn't that a bad idea when you have the curse?
それをお社様は許さなかった。
Yeah, I was just gonna say, that's a bad idea, right?
だからやめなって。
Yeah, okay, Reina, you actually do need to calm. I don't know what Mion's gonna do.
お社様はひなみ沢の守り神様。
I can't tell if Mion just doesn't want to talk about it or if she doesn't want Keiichi or hell, anybody knowing about it, but she does not. You need to stop, Reina.
ひなみ沢を捨てて逃げ出そうとする人を絶対に許さない。私はそれを謝った。でもサトシ君はきっと謝らなかった。
Okay, you apologize for... Yeah, you definitely got the curse. You apologize. That just confirmed it.
だから
Oh.
お社様のたたりに会ってしまったに違いないの。
お社様のたたりだって？
Reina is not happy. Oh, she is not happy. I hadn't intended to repeat it. But the words came out of my mouth anyway. Orishiro-sama's
警
curse.
察が家出だって決めつけたって信じない信じない。私は絶対に信じない。そんなのたたりだと認めたくない村の偉い人たちが決めただけの嘘っぱち。お社様のたたりは信じようと信じまいと確かに。
Wham! Mion struck Reina in the head. And it was not in a joking way either.
いい加減にしろって言ってるでしょ。恩和の私でも島には怒るよ。
Pushing her to her limits. Actually, there was plenty of displeasure and anger in Mion's face at that very moment. I was half expecting the light to escape her eyes. In a few moments after being hit, Reina looked astonished. Perhaps the voices of the Higurashi calmed her frantic mind, because after a little while she regained her original calm expression. We arrived at the place where we always split up with Mion. No one said a word until we got there. The voices of the Higurashi just tortured our ears with their buzzing. Oh my god! We always split up with Mion here, just leaving Reina and me.
あのさ、ケイちゃん、前に漫画化すって約束したじゃない？よかったら寄ってく？
Huh? She promised that? However, I quickly realized that it was just a convenient way of her saying that she wanted to talk with me alone.
あ、そうなんだ。
Hey, don't take offense, Reina, okay? I'm sure you've been through some shit. It's just, there's a time and place to say these things, and look, I don't blame you, girl, is what I'm saying. I don't blame you, girl. Don't you worry about it.
じゃあレナは先に帰ってるね。
Be safe. Maybe she realized it, maybe she didn't. Thankfully, Reina quickly said that she'd go home before us.
じゃあねレナ、また明日。
うん、また明日ね。ケイチくんもあまりお邪魔しすぎないようにね。もう夕方だから。
ちょっと本を借りに寄るだけだよ。じゃあな。
Considering the fun day we had, it was a very splendid, lonely parting.
さっきのあまり気にしないでね。
I mean, I'll try not to, Mion, but Reina kind of got a. She really did. After a little while, Mion finally spoke. Quite some time had passed since splitting up with Reina.
いや別に俺の方が悪かったと思う。
サトシの話は別に隠してたわけじゃないんだよ。あまり触れない方がいい話だからさ。
At this point, I understood exactly what she meant by that. Judging by our odd interactions with Reina, I understood so well it hurt that I shouldn't ever talk about it again. Actually, if that's the case, then with Shion too. No, this is an even bigger problem. Talking about it in the first place had been so indiscreet. I shouldn't have been interested in it at all. But that's why I really had to think about it. Why everyone got so irritated. Idiot! Stop this, Keiichi, my bruh. By the time I tried to warn myself, I had accidentally spoken already.
もう二度と聞かないからさ、正直なところを教えてくれないか。一体サトシに何があったんだ。家でなんだろう。
Okay, look, if you don't want to answer, hey, that's fine, that's cool. I get it. You're gonna mention to me about the whole demoning away shit. Do with the curse, probably. Or at least that's what you believe. Or maybe you don't believe it, I don't know. For a long time, Mion remained silent, but finally, unable to endure it any longer, she began to speak timidly.
お社様のたたりの話は聞いたことある？
Well, I mean, I have, but Keiichi apparently in this chapter, this is his first time.
ほんの少しくらいなら。
I got the gist of it. I only overheard someone in class talking about it, though. Oh, right. Never mind. Okay, so I'm assuming they had that happen, so that way Keiichi isn't just getting the shit explained to him over and over again in every chapter, thus boring the reader, which, that's good. That's good. I wouldn't want to be, because, like, I already get the gist of the whole curse and everything, even though Chapter 2 had its own kind of thing with it, which I don't even think the curse was real in Chapter 2. It was most likely real in Chapter 1, but Chapter 2 probably was not real. Or maybe it was, but it just didn't do shit. I don't know. Oyashiro-sama was the name of the deity protecting Hinamizawa that they worship at the shrine, and the shrine we had the barbecue at today. And a few years ago, when they started talking about about flooding Hinamizawa as part of the dam project, one of the people who worked on the site died or something, and people blamed it on Oyashiro-sama's curse. That's how it was.
サトシの死んだ親ってのがさ、ダムの誘致派でね。
え？ひなみ沢の人って村中でダムに反対してたんじゃないのか？村人なのにダムの賛成派もいたのか？
The dam project. The one that would flood the entirety of Hinamizawa. What the fuck is Streamlabs doing? Calm the fuck down. It's still going. Okay. It's dropping frames for literally no reason. What the fuck, dog? Yo. It was not having these issues before. What's happening? Hold on. Shit's going down. Hold on. It wasn't doing this the past, like, week or two. In fact, it's been doing pretty good. Let me just double check, make sure. Nothing. Okay, wait. Let me just open Task Manager, see if there's some things that... Is there something that opened by itself? Does it maybe fuck up some shit? Let me do some quick checking. Oh, there is that. I don't need that open. I don't use leap motion, at least not all the time. I would probably use it for like some other projects, but that's its own thing. Unity Crash Handler. I didn't even open any Unity things in relation since I last reset my computer. I don't need Xbox nor Xbox Game Bar. Why are those fucking open? Okay, whatever. That should be good. Or at the very least decent enough. Alright, anyways. The dam project. The one that would flood the entirety of Hinamizawa. I heard all the village got together to fight against the terrible project. But it was a little hard to believe that there were some villagers who were in fact supporting it.
まあいろいろと事情もあってね。ダム計画に反対する人ばかりでもなかったんだけどさ。でその親ってのが誘致派のリーダー格だったんだよ。
誘致派のリーダー格、つまり聡子と聡の親がってことだよな。
うん。国はダム工事に伴って多額の保証金を用意してたからね。そのお金が欲しくてダム計画に賛成してた人たちも結構いたんだよ。
Aside from a few households, Hinamizawa was, in general, not very affluent. Not because they were proud to inherit the lands of their ancestors. And it wouldn't be strange if some people wanted enough money to just start a new life. Fuck you, Streamlabs. But even in that case, they would have had to hesitate to say so, even given the situation. It just happened to be Satoko and Satoshi's parents who understood that and stood up to be their representative. By that standard, you might say Satoko and Satoshi's parents were very heroic. They volunteered to be hated, all to help those without much money who didn't have a voice.
それで運悪くその両親がさ、お社様を祀るお祭りの日に事故死しちゃったんだよね。
Right.
それでお社様のたたりにあったんじゃないかってことになっちゃったわけ。
I thought back onto what Coach had told me today. They went to a nature park for a family outing, and then they fell from a cliff.
で、聡が家出したのまでお社様のたたりってことにされちまったわけか。
まあ、うん。そんな感じ。
Yeah, who can blame him really for thinking that? It was a bit of an evasive reply, but I felt it was wrong to ask any further, so I didn't press on the details.
もう説明するまでもないと思うけどさ、聡子にとっては両親の事故もサトシの家出も、そしてお社様のたたりなんて話も愉快な話じゃないのはわかるでしょ。
I mean, yeah, no shit. Well, yeah, of course I knew that now. I could only nod silently.
だからさ、私たちは聡子の家族の話には触れないことにしてる。サトシのことは仮に聞かれても転校したってごまかすことにしてる。その辺の事情を汲み取ってもらえるよね。
They wanted to protect Satoko's happiness and her smile. As someone who thought that way once, even if for a short time, I really did regret having been imprudent enough to broach the topic to begin with.
ああ、わかるよ。俺も軽はずみなことを聞いたと後悔してる。
When she heard that, Mion smiled, seeming a little bit relieved. With that understanding, thinking I should get going, I began to make my way home. I could really have stopped by Mion's house, but it was already late. I'd stop by again the next time I had the chance.
じゃあな、ミオ。今日は悪かったな。また明日な。
うん。じゃあね。
Take care, Mion. Please don't try to kill me. Even though I kind of think we'll be fine. I don't think she'll do anything. Reina, on the other hand, I'm fucking scared of. Then suddenly, remembering something, Mion called out to me.
ケイちゃん、あとさ、聡子にだけじゃなくレナの前でも サトシの話は慎んでくれるかな。
After what I witnessed, of fucking course I will.
え？
さっきので分かったと思うけどさ、レナってどういうわけかお社様のたたりの話だけは
Yeah, most likely
笑い
because...
事で済まないんだよ。
Yeah, she probably had the curse. That's probably the fucking timeline we're in
転
here.
校してきた時から。
Yeah, she probably had the curse too. Fuck you, Streamlabs. Yeah, judging by how Reina was acting earlier, it was clearly no laughing matter to her. Mion had interrupted the conversation for us, but if Mion hadn't been there, what might have happened?
どうしてレナはあんなにマジになるんだろうな。
Not only Reina either, but Shion as well. Well, I mean, granted, Shion wasn't as serious. Hell, even when she noticed that she was making kind of like an angry face, she tried to like correct herself. She was like, oh shit, my bad, I didn't mean to. Which I guess, you know, granted still, but like, but what I'm saying is like, Reina didn't try to stop. Even when Mion was like trying to call, okay, fuck you, Streamlabs. Even when Mion was trying to like call out to like tell her to stop or some shit. Like, Reina just kept on pushing, as if nobody was talking to her at all. So that, obviously, in itself is kind of fishy. I'm just saying, it kind of makes me less suspicious that Shion will do something, but it makes me more suspicious that Reina will do something. Or maybe that's what they want me to think. I don't know. I don't know.
知らない。レナはね、あ、これ内緒だよ。言ったら絶好だよ。
Mion emphasizes so her expression clouded even further.
言わないよ。で、レナが何だってんだよ。
お社様のたたりに会ったことあるんだって。
Well, yeah, that was made kind of fucking obvious.
え？
私は悪いけど被害妄想過剰な何かの思い込みじゃないかって思ってるんだけどね。でも本人はそう言ってるし、そう信じてる。
Fair enough.
茶化すとかなり怒る。レナは普段はチャラけてるけど、怒るとかなり怖い。
分かってるよ。レナの前でも言うなってことだろ。サトシの話。
うん。できればこの話題にも二度と触れるべきじゃないと思うね。
Fine by me.
レナのためにも、サトコのためにもさ。
For everyone else's too. And if I must say, for your own sake too, Kei-chan. With her silence, Mion made sure I knew that.
そうだな。うん。分かったよ。
ありがとう。
Saying only that, waved her hand and began walking away. I watched her go, a little dazed, and then started walking myself. Satsuko's older brother, Satoshi. Had he really run away from home? Or had he been the victim of the curse and disappeared forever? Whichever the case, none of this was anything I should have ever asked about. The cooling air forced me onto self-reflection. I wanted Satsuko to smile. Yeah, and I'm being called, and I heard the dead name. Well, you know what? Fucking whatever. I'll be right back. I need to go do something. Fuck that dead name. I'll destroy it. We'll see if Streamlabs calms down by the time I'm back, so yeah. Okay, I am back, and it seems that Streamlabs is still being a fucking bitch. In fact, it skipped a lot of frames while I'm gone, and it's still doing it. I'm going to see... I'm going to try to reset Streamlabs and see if that fixes any of the issues here. Because if it wasn't obvious, that's annoying as hell, and I don't like it. So, give me 1 sec while I do a quick refresh on Streamlabs, and we'll try to get this set back up.